G'day. Talking to you today about the SAS Smock. Now, this is a principle that while it's got military origins, I think it's got a lot of transferability across into wider bushcraft and survival circles. The underlying principle of the SAS Smock is it was so that you could run away if you had to dump all your equipment. You still had a magazine of ammunition with you, your sidearm and your firearm usually, and you could basically fight and survive off the land with what was in the pockets of the smock. The smock itself is actually one of your primary shelters. It becomes your sleeping bag and your rain jacket, as well as a windproof jacket in its own right. So it's a very utilitarian piece of equipment. It's quite bulky as a consequence, and it was filled with pockets. Now the pockets allow you to put other items of survival equipment in and around all different places, right down to secreting them in certain areas of the jacket itself, so that if you're given a cursory search, for example, a lot of the time you'd still be given your jacket back and there are some survival items contained within it. So a very special forces centric concept. The layering is particularly unique, and that's the transferable item I think I want to put across to you guys today. It's this system of having different layers of survival items stored at different locations within what you may be wearing with you or carrying with you on your back. So having some equipment in your pockets, equipping yourself with decent footwear, decent pants, decent shirts, a jacket, hat, you're giving yourself a layered shelter system right then and there. Right through to what kind of knife system you're carrying with you, what kind of equipment you've got stored in pockets on your undershirt and your jacket itself, right through to what you're carrying in your pack. So let's have a look, just as a concept idea, what this jacket may be able to be loaded up with without increasing its size or bulk in any way, shape or form. Alright, so here's our jacket or our smock placed out on the ground so you can have a better look at it. At the top it's got a hood. That gives it that all-weather capability. Inside it's designed so it's got polar fleece sections and areas where heat can be bled off, but core temperature maintained through these polar fleece sections. Inside the back of the pockets, on the internal aspects, you've still got room for tinder packs, tinder bundles, whatever you want to put in there. Over this side, there's a space blanket. So there's a layer of shelter on top of the jacket itself there. Here, I've just attached a small ferrocium rod, so a flint, for firelighting purposes. That often would get overlooked. And then inside the jacket itself, it's got zippers that allow me to wear this while I'm making my escape, if I was being pursued in a combat survival situation, because I can bleed off heat through the armpit areas there. And they can be obviously done up again when I'm not being chased to keep me warm. Now if we work on the outside pockets now, so there's 4 large blouse pockets. Start from the top right. In here I've got a Sawyer mini straw, thanks to Dennis at Survival Supplies Australia for that. That's been a fantastic piece of equipment. I'll do a tube clip on that at some point. A bit of marker panel. This is important for us, and it's usually carried in conjunction with a whistle to attract attention should we need it, or to call for a lift home if you are still serving in the military. Down to the bottom right, fishing hook system. Just some fishing hooks, small fishing hooks predominantly. And this is a head net. If you've ever been in the Australian outback, anywhere serious, you would know what all that is about real quick. Up here, compass. I don't believe in carrying button compasses. If I've got one of these available, this attaches to this thing, it lives in this thing. A shell dressing triangular bandage in there. And down here, just a simple pair of latex gloves to help me keep my hands warm and to do heavy work should I need it. Inside the zipper pockets on the front, I've got a whole range of cordage. Standard Army hoochie cord, paracord, bank line for traps and snares, fishing lines, and again from Dennis at Survival Supplies, he sent me up this some time ago, which is actually J cord. So it's standard paracord with an additional hemp type line in there, specifically for bow drill fires. And it's got a couple other properties beyond the normal scope of paracord itself. So quite a useful repository of cordage carried on on the jacket and in the jacket. On the other side, there's another pocket over this side. And this one, a metal flint, and a few other bits and pieces in there just to keep a massive pocket, so I can put whatever I want in there. On the arm pockets, so up on the upper sleeves like this, it's where we carry stuff that we don't use a lot. In this one, there's a transpiration bag. That's also got 1,000,001 uses, as you can probably imagine. And the other side, we've got, again, signal mirror to help me call for help, a cutting tool, and a Fresnel lens for assisting the light fire in the event I don't have the ability to make too much noise, and it gives me alternatives, fire lighting, full stop. Now, that's just what I can see in here. I'm sure there's other stuff in here and I probably can't even find that at this point. But the idea is, and I'm hoping you can get it, it is a wearable survival kit. Now, survival kits, I think most of you watch my clips know that I don't really subscribe to the survival kit concept. So that entire premise of putting all your eggs in one basket to me makes no sense. From my practical experience, and it's probably the way the SAS trained me, you just don't put all your eggs in that one basket and then expect to have them there when you want to make an omelette. It just doesn't work that way. Life sucks when it comes to that type of thing. So you layer gear all the time and you get it into places where you're likely to have it with you when you damn well need it. And my experience directly has been whenever I've carried a specific set of items in one little tin, guess what? It's never anywhere where I am when I need it. So as a consequence, layering this equipment all across my worn items, all through my pack and belt order, I've then got more chance of having things that are useful to me in a survival situation from the get-go. Now, all is hinged upon what you can do with this. Okay? So that's the SAS Smock. There's a lot we can learn from that piece of equipment. I hope that's been something that will trigger some thought in terms of how you configure your equipment for survival, how you configure your equipment when you walk outdoors and you go out into nature's playground and mess around out there. Remember, she can be a hard taskmaster if you don't play by her rules. And that means being responsible when you're outdoors, having the knowledge, having the skills, having the emotional intelligence to keep yourself together in one piece that's useful and functional when you get lost or when something goes wrong, and then having equipment to support the plan. That's what it's all about, supporting the plan. That's where equipment fits into survival as far as I'm concerned. It supports the plan. It supports the person, not the other way around. Take it for what it's worth. At the end of the day, it's your call and you'll figure it out when you need to, just as I've had to do in the past. I hope that's of use. Take care, get outside, explore this beautiful country, explore this beautiful natural world. Don't be scared. Stay strong, be fearless. We'll see you next time.